Texas wedge. Texas wedge. Just keep running at them.
I love them. I will never not be a fan of those. And whether or not people do or not know.
I don't care.
Magic Car Path Ride, everybody. We're back.
Hey, y'all.
Hello to YouTube land. Yes, we are together again.
Very good. We'll probably talk about how it's going to be our last show, just like we did in the last 2 or 3.
Yeah,
It will. It won't.
we'll see. The convenience of it is just too easy.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, myself, Zach Malosh, Ryan Westfall,
How you doing?
directly in front of me.
Cool.
For those of you just joining,
Yeah.
again, we are the Magic Car Path Ride. A show for golf.
Yeah.
A show for low to mid handicappers like ourselves, between the group of friends.
Yeah.
Fans of golf like ourselves. That's why we started the show. But now we're not golfing. No one's golfing.
Our audience is broad, and now it encompasses anyone who has been affected, not infected. Well, maybe infected, but affected by the quarantine of the coronavirus. So if you've been affected by this virus in any way, then you should tune into the show just to get updates and, a lot of information or a lot of opinions with limited to some information provided by yours truly.
Yeah. And to smooth it out for the people, when you say affected, I mean, that means if you're at home watching this or listening to this, you're home because you can't go to work anymore.
Yeah.
Because of this stupid fucking coronavirus.
Well, some people can. I can.
That's true.
I got the cops called on us. We got the cops called on us.
Really?
At work.
Wow.
Somebody called the cops on us, and they showed up, and they're like, are you guys allowed to be working? Which I'm fascinated by that somebody called the police because they saw us. Like, of all the shit I've done in my life, to get the cops called on, going to work generated the cops to show up, make sure that we were good, and we were good.
And we were good. Nothing wrong.
We had laminated badges
Nothing wrong.
shoved in their face. What's up, mother? Essential.
Well, that's good. At least you had that going for you.
At
least you're able to go to work.
Hey, man, we're 10 people in like 11,000 square feet, man. 1,000 square feet per person is how we're spaced out. And we use that space.
Wow.
I mean, like, if you want to set an example of how to social distance yourself while operating a business, this is it. There's wipes everywhere. People wash their hands. Like, this lady is just cleaning tables constantly in the kitchen, just all the time. Even snapped at me for almost sitting at one of the little plastic tables just on my lunch because it wasn't cleaned yet.
Right.
So if that's the way you want to operate, that's the way you got to operate. If you want to do anything, that's how you should be living at home right now.
Technically.
Cleaning everything.
I cleaned the bathroom today.
Yeah, that's good.
I did. It needs to be disinfected. They said the number one nasty spot is the handle of your toilet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Really? You mean the thing I touch right after I shit? That thing's dirty?
Yeah, that thing. I know. You wouldn't think of it.
Wow, mind-blowing.
I did. I thought of that instantly.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Cheers. What are we doing? Are we doing the JMO or are we doing...
Hey, whatever. I got a ridiculous amount of beverages going on.
Let's do both. Let's do a swig of this.
3 lined up here. Water and coffee in the knapsack.
Let's do one more for Jack, because these are the Jack cups. If anybody's watching, these are Jack engraved cups.
See that? Do you see that, Radioland? So, I wanted to talk about the Masters today. The Masters.
Moment of silence for the sweet sound of the Masters intro. Okay.
Wow, friends. Thank you for being with us.
God.
Anyways, before I get too deep on Nance, I wanted to follow up on a few things from our last show.
Okay.
We were talking about my amount of holes that I played in a day, the 3 rounds, 54 holes in a day. The most amazing accomplishment, man, that I thought about later, I wanted to drop it. Eric Burns, Local boy
Whoa.
Bernsey.
Yeah. Speak on this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He went on an epic journey to be able to accomplish a Guinness Book of World Records of most holes played in a day in 24-hour time period. Do you remember the number of holes he played in 24 hours?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was like 8.
Bro,
dude, it was a lot.
You should remember.
It was like 300, right? 333 or something like that.
420, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude played 420 holes in a 24-hour time period. You know, it's whatever o'clock in the morning when they shoot the gun, and he's sitting there with his clubs and his running shoes, and he's got his ball teed up to drive. Boom, clock starts, hits a ball, throws the driver in his bag, sprints, runs to the ball, throws it back out, takes the club, think about it, hit the ball, put the shit in the bag, run up, get the wedge, get the putter, chip the ball, putt it, great, okay, get the bag, go. Did that for 420 holes, solid for 24 hours. Like the amount of endurance that takes to be able to get that done. Fuck the golf. Fuck like shooting all those shots.
Right.
Just moving your body for 24 hours straight, non-stop, like aggressive, athletic. It's insane, man.
At what point do you not keep score? Like he wasn't keeping.
He was keeping score. I think
score.
He had a little crew. He had a crew.
Probably had a
with
guy
him.
keeping score the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think that's a good point because like that's just one more thing, like writing it down on the paper and all that. I mean, you got to have like maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he did it all. I don't know.
So let's say there was. I would want to know if someone took score. I would just want to know these two things. I'd want to know the score of the first round, and I'd want to know the score of the last round.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How about how many rounds? But I don't want to even do the math, but whatever that is.
I forget what it was. They broke it down.
18. It's like 50 or something. I don't know. Whatever. My math is super.
You know what's crazy is on KMBR they brought it up the other day. So when he first did it, KMBR was like, oh, boom, 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 boom. I think it was Paulie Mack was like, oh my god.
Yeah, Murph and Mack were all over it.
They were all over it. Golf and running, yeah. So anyway,
yep.
But the other day Rod Brooks brought it up, I think, and they brought up him doing like a triathlon or whatever, and like how crazy he was, and he did a similar thing with just running, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't bring up the golf one, and I was kind of bummed because like the golf one is kind of intense.
Maybe they had just brought it up earlier because that's the biggest one, and he did.
Whoa.
He trained for months and months and months just to be able to be in the shape to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And the speed golf is like that would be cool, man. I would love to try for that, but nobody's beaten that record ever, bro, ever.
The speed golf is nuts. That's I know. I shouldn't say it, but a certain vlogcast that I watched, one of the first episodes I watched was a speed golf thing, and I was like, what the hell? This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's just going to randomly try the speed golf thing because people have been doing it, But he did it, and I forget how quick he played. I think he did 18 holes, I think.
In like how long?
9. Oh, he did it in like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg does it.
I would love to test that out, man. I would love to test that out to see how long it would take to be able to run through a golf course and play that fast, and just to see if it will work.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
We should do it one day. You just get a little travel bag, and I'll tell you what, I've heard if anything that it's like super cool because you always go to your ball.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think it's in part to my theory with when you push guard it.
Yeah.
You kind of naturally gravitate towards your ball.
Yeah, yeah.
In the sense that if you don't have a cart, you don't want to hit it towards the cart because you don't have, you know what I mean?
A cart would actually, I think, be faster in the real world, but you can't do it with a cart. That defeats the purpose. But that'd be fun to do in a cart too. I bet you could do it even faster.
Interesting point. Yeah, would it be faster?
As you're like, you put on, the ones that have the little click brake. You put on the click brake, and as it's slowing down, you're jumping out of your car. You're grabbing the club you need. You're stepping behind it. You even get a chance to take a breath. And you're just not running for 18 holes. Like, that's true sprinting shit. You're running 5 miles.
Dude, I want to say just getting out of the cart and trying to grab your clubs, not doing that and just running and just grabbing the club is way quicker.
Oh, shit. This smells like a challenge, bro. Do you want to have a speed golf competition?
Let's do it.
Where you run and I cart.
Because I love running. I run a lot.
Oh, shit. Nike v Adidas.
Because I've always wanted to do it, but that makes more sense because
Let's do it, bro.
Let's do it.
I'm
as
gonna
soon
try
as
to figure out the
any
mechanics.
golf course around here is open, let's do it. Because hey, social distancing.
Like I've been saying, bro. I just update on my busted knee that I busted skate. It's not even busted anymore. I can play golf. I could run.
Oh, you got
Maybe
me,
not yet. I'm not gonna be stupid, but it's there, man. The healing process has been quick.
You got me stewing now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not ready enough to go put on the skates and go hockey it up, but golf, man, that's one thing. Yeah.
That was fun today. No, I don't want to stray away from that. Let's definitely do that sooner than later.
Challenge accepted.
For real. Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
did you hear a public service announcement by Guar?
Okay.
You know Guar?
Yeah.
You know Guar.
Of course.
Fucking Guar. The aliens that were sent down from space to kill us all with rock and roll. That Guar. They did a little shelter in place public service announcement on CNN, bro. CNN
Really?
had Guar, the band.
They pop up like that now and again.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen them on something like that before.
They're insane. They're insane.
I've seen them live once.
Have you seen Guar live?
Shout out to Steven Stink Miller. He turned me on to Guar
Yeah.
at a very young age. And
Yeah.
they kind of rock live. I've seen them live once.
Well, of course they rock live, man. They're a fucking metal band, bro.
It was good. I mean, theatrically, it was a great show.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, they dress up like absolute monsterish clown, demon, like evil, just insane, and playing music in that, all that shit on.
What was the football monster thing back in the day? The stuffed animals that were football monsters?
Oh yeah.
That's what they look like. Like
My Pet Monster? No. Wait, no. Was it My Pet Monster?
I think My Pet Monster was it, and there was only happened to be one football guy.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it looks like that, but like more medieval texture on everything.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I remember there was
Guar's
a chick in Guar that would like pee on the crowd, bro. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Just scissors back on the crowd, dude. Just insane.
That's crazy. Speaking of peeing on
Yeah.
the crowd,
Yeah.
I told a story the other day into music real quick because this is what the show is, right? Golf.
There's
music.
no directive. When we talk about the Masters, we talk about the Masters. Otherwise, it's just free form, bro. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I told a story the other day because somebody asked me about something and I forget what it was, but I saw but this band came up in particular. I saw Green Day for like $10 at the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium with my dad. At the end of the show, it turns out he lost his keys, and we had to get a ride from a cop to the BART station and get picked up. Days, no cell phones, no nothing.
Yes.
Cop didn't even want to take us. Anyway, if you've ever been to, no, it wasn't Bill Graham, Henry J. Kaiser.
Oh.
The Henry J. Kaiser Auditorium in Oakland. So yeah, the police were not too friendly to pick anybody up and take them to the BART station. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anywho, saw them for $10. It was right when Dookie came out. They were huge, about to be even huger, but they were huge.
How old were you?
Man, dude, 5th or 6th grade.
So when I was in 6th grade, which would mean you were in like 3rd or 4th grade, I got a Thrasher in the mail through my subscription. In that shit was a Dookie sticker. The album had.
I remember I got the
just
Dookie
came
sticker.
out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was crazy because I actually had
It just
that
said
sticker.
Dookie too. It was nothing. There
It
was
was,
no
it was
ad.
the Green Day Dookie. It was the exact
Right,
album
right.
cover, and nothing. Yeah, no CD or nothing.
There was no
like that.
ad with them or nothing.
Just
yeah.
a sticker. And then I put that shit on my binder, and like a year and a half later, like literally when I was in 8th grade, the album came out, and I was like, "That's a trip." I think I still had that binder, and I think I brought it out of retirement.
It's the one with the it was green, and then it did have the little
white
poop.
with green.
It
yeah,
it had the little like fly.
and it
poop.
had the little town, which was probably
So it had the little header of the
Yeah,
of
it
the,
did.
of
It
the
did.
total-
It was-
of
it-
the
yeah.
cover. So anyway, we go out there and
Green Day.
again I'm probably whatever age, and my dad takes me out there and he's smoking a bowl. We're just watching the show. But there was a band, and then the second band came on, which was There's Buddies, which I come to find out later on that in a different town they were like, that band's not playing, and Green Day was like, if this band doesn't open for us, we're not playing your town, right? Because they were just a big ass town in the Midwest, and this is why I tell you that. So I am 10, 11 years old, and the band Pansy Division comes on stage.
Yes.
Pansy Division. The best of my memory is there was a lot of people on stage. shit ton of people on stage. And at some point, somebody came out with a ginormous dildo. Okay, and at that point in my life, I've been to reggae shows. I've been to all kinds of shows. So I've been to shows where they bring out like a giant joint. You know what I mean? And like it's just bigger than the earth. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Somebody's
Cypress Hill.
smoking it. That type shit, right? Seen it at a reggae show one time, whatever.
This is not Cypress Hill concert.
This was definitely not a Cypress Hill concert. So they came out with a giant penis, and at some point, one guy ignites it, and it just shoots out all this white confetti and like cream cheese
Boom.
and cottage cheese all
Take
over the
that,
crowd. And my dad just kind of looked over at me as he's smoking a bowl, and he was like, "Hey, these guys are pretty good." A little after that, Green Day came on. Quick little funny Green Day story with that show. The whole show was $10, and they came out and they played 10 songs, and Billy Joe said, $10, 10 songs, we're out of here. And the lights shut down, they walked off stage, and then the spotlight shut on, and he walked back out and said, just playing. Ha ha. And they played for like another hour and 40 minutes.
Yes.
So it was like, it was the Dookie tour, but it was the end of Dookie tour. A couple of the songs that were coming off Insomniac were being played live for the first time.
Yeah.
So essentially their second album, we heard their 3 singles before they were even recorded. Because they just busted them
I
out.
got my hands
Anyway,
I got my hands on a VHS of Green Day playing live in New York, and I forget who I got it from.
It was the MTV series,
I think it was
correct?
the MTV
Yes.
Live in New York.
It was Chicago, actually.
Maybe it was Chicago.
It was Chicago, though. I know which one you're talking about.
Is he wearing like a white shirt, like a I don't know.
No, he's wearing an all-black Dickies outfit.
I don't know if that's the one.
So the one I'm talking about...
It was just recorded from TV, but in any case...
Yeah. Because I have the same thing that I recorded on TV, too. Anyway, go
I
ahead.
love that shit. I just watched that a lot.
That
album was fire. I didn't really care for much they did after that, to be brutally honest. But Dookie is a part of my life, man.
I heard their song, and yeah, Dookie's one you can go back and listen to all the time. I heard their new song on the radio the other day, and I was like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever, but that sucks.
I only got one Green Day story to finish it up, which we spent way too long
do it,
on
man.
Green Day, but it's worth it. Because we brought this up before when Phil and I went to the same Chili Peppers concert when we were 14 years old.
Right, that's
Not
right.
together.
Yeah.
We weren't friends yet, but we were both. That was both of our first concert.
Correct, yeah.
So Eber and I are waiting.
Who was the bill, actually?
Yeah.
Name the bill.
The bill? Oh, listen to this. Funny story in itself.
The bill was amazing.
Weapon of Choice started off. Now, Weapon of Choice is like a funky funk band. They're the closest thing. When people say funk band, they usually don't know what they're talking about, but they were a legit funk band. They were like modeled after George Clinton, P-Funk, Parliament style. The crowd did not want that. The crowd wanted madness, right? And this is where it will lead to. You'll remember this. They got booed, bro. Weapon of Choice was getting booed by the crowd. It was anxious. People were uncomfortable. People wanted to mosh, right? They did their shit. Ever and I were feeling it. We're like, dude, they got a horn section. Like, this is tight.
Love their name.
And then they just kind of, fizzled out. And they maybe even stopped earlier because they were kind of getting like, it was just bad vibes. So then the Toadies came on next. The Toadies,
who
bro.
we've opened for.
We opened for Toadies.
Wow.
And I'll never forget because their set was hard, bro. But that crowd was so receptive to anything at all that it was probably the gnarliest mosh pit I've ever been in was the Toadies, because it was situational, man. Weapon of Choice just like didn't do it for the crowd, and then the Toadies came on and brought some pretty good energy. The crowd was insane. I just got moved around like a wave, got my shins stepped on, like, I think I threw up like later from being like exhaustion and dehydration, but it was the most epic thing ever. Anyways, Chili Peppers crushed it. Eber and I are waiting for his mom, and she's like fashionably an hour and a half late to pick us up. We're at the Cow Palace, dude, just sitting out in the cold as fuck, Hunters Point.
Shout out to the Cow Palace. We played there.
Holy goodness, dude, just it sucks. We're waiting, but as we're waiting, we're standing there on the street, and we look down as this Jeep Cherokee's coming up, and these 2 teenage girls are just screaming their mind, like out of their mind, like, oh yeah, like losing their mind, and we're just like, what the fuck's going on? And as the car drives up, Billy Joe is just sitting shotgun in this Jeep Cherokee.
Wow.
And he's got this weird look on his face, and he got the window down a little bit. And I look straight at him, and I'm looking at the chicks, and I'm like, man, those are some crazy ass bitches, huh? just some 14-year-old on the street, and he just was like, yeah, dude, yeah, just smiled a little bit and was like, yeah, and then drove off. I was like, wow, Ever and I were just losing our mind.
That's pretty cool.
So there's that. Green Day.
Well, shout out to Green Day.
Shit.
We'll come back to some other
Speaking of green
cool
and day,
yes.
Could we just get into the Masters, man? Could we talk about it at
Well,
least?
I was gonna digress. I thought you were gonna say, "Can we smoke a bowl?" Which I'm kind of partial to right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that later. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get back into some other mosh pit stories because you started bringing up some fucking memories in my head. But anyway,
Sorry, I just got carried away, man. I
we
figured I'd
did get
take it
carried
back
away
to golf before I
from
just-
the Masters.
Yes.
We did.
Yes, the Masters.
It's coming
Friends.
up. The ladies are.
For joining.
The ladies is usually going on about this time. I did find out today that did you see the Masters schedules released for November?
November. What's gonna be like to see Augusta in the fall?
I asked my lady the same question. I was like, dude, this is 2 weeks after your birthday. Like,
What a trip right before Christmas.
Well, and I asked her, and I was like, I'm going to bring this up today. What do? You play the next year's Masters right after that? Do you only?
I don't know.
At this point, do you only have the majors?
At the way we're looking at it, the end of this year is going to be insane with critical golf tournaments. Like all the tournaments that are set for those times, I think are just going to get pushed aside. And if you could get the 4 majors and the players and the fucking match play and the World Golf Championships or some of those more marquee tournaments, you just got to cram it all into the winter. Whenever we're good to go, line them all up in order of importance or whatever. Just play the ones that count. People want to see the Masters. And it's weird because the U.S. Open is postponed. Masters postponed.
And what about all the people? What about all the amateurs that are trying to qualify for the U.S. Open right now? What about all the guys like me and you that are 7 handicaps? Or no, excuse me. What is it? 4 and under handicaps that are qualifying for the U.S. Open right now that aren't going to qualify now.
Yeah, well.
Because I'll tell you what, right now at Ruby Hill is typically when they're doing the U.S. Open qualifications.
I don't know how they're going to pick and choose those.
I say do all the majors.
Yeah.
I'd say a good move,
They're not going to, but the Open is already canceled. They cancel.
Oh, sorry. What I should say is when they pick up the season, if they're going to pick up the Masters in November, then right after that, you play the next major. You play the British Open, and then you come back around and you do the U.S. Open and so forth.
Well, the most...
Because you're starting off with the Masters, because when you finish that, then it's Masters time. I'm telling that's the thing I'm getting at is in 6 months, it's Masters season.
Yeah. But you're not gonna. You're only gonna get the 3 majors because those are the 3 U.S. I mean, you got the USGA for the Open, you got the PGA for the PGA, and you got Augusta for the Masters, and it's all a separate thing.
We already did the
RMA is not gonna let the British Open or the Open Championship go. It's just canceled. So the most we could do is the 3.
Because that'd be after July anyway, right?
Well, it's not a timing thing. It's just that for some reason or another, they just decided to just cancel it instead of postpone it. So, whatever.
Oh, so is there like a thin line between postponement and canceling?
Well,
I mean, I know that, but I know when you spell it out, that's what it means. But
Shaw.
You can't just wow. So what
I
I'm
don't
just
know,
trying to
maybe-
fathom is that other people were smart enough to postpone their tournaments, but the Open was like, we're just going to cancel it?
Well, here's an idea.
Is that what you're saying?
Here's an idea of being smart. Boris Johnson, the leader of the UK, or their president or prime minister. Sorry, I forgot the terminology. That guy a few weeks ago decided that even though coronavirus was going crazy, he still was going to make public appearances and shake everybody's hand. And so he shook everybody's hand, like going around and around. And people were like, you shouldn't do this. And he's like, I don't care. Fuck it. Fucking daddy mates. Like, the shaking hands. Well, guess where he is right now?
In the ICU?
Intensive care ICU
Wow.
for coronavirus. So, that's what happens if you take it in too early. I don't know. So maybe the UK is smarter and decided, well, because that happened, maybe we should pull out of this thing altogether. Because think about it, dude. If they start running baseball season and throwing up golf tournaments, and then people get infections coming from those places, you're not flattening the curve. You're increasing the curve, and then you just can't. They just can't do that. Baseball just announced today, bro, that they're thinking of starting as early as May, and it just blows my mind that, like, as much as I want sports back, I'm not expecting anybody to give a time frame like when they're going to start right now. It's not really realistic, you know.
There's this it's funny you say that because there's this show that I watched the other day called Containment on Netflix. Don't watch that don't watch that on hallucinogens. I'll say that right now. Just straight up, I'm sorry. I don't want to break the ice that bad, but don't do it. 3 a.m. I was watching it, but that was a big thing right there to what you were just saying. It was a huge factor. They were, because it takes place in Atlanta, so they were saying like, so only a portion of it's like San Jose's quarantine, and then the rest of Atlanta is not.
That's what it
right?
is.
Or the rest of California, whatever it was. But so they were still gonna have a Braves game. So it was weeks. They figured out that they just quarantined this side of town. They could still have a Braves game, and people were like, "Should we do it?" And we talked about the last episode where we're like, "Would you go to a game this week?" If they said we're good.
Yeah. Would you jump in a swimming pool if you knew that there was a peeing section in some part of the pool? No.
Right.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Unless you're kinky like that.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. But that brings us back to the Masters and kind of something we said like last week.
The Masters.
Like, what could you do? Like, you couldn't even. I mean, I know they picked November. That's fine, whatever. But like, you couldn't do it.
Tell you what,
know what I
man.
mean?
I'm not.
We broke down all the scenarios. You couldn't do it.
As far as me and the Masters, my personal connection,
Oh,
Krusty bitch missed the cut again for the second year in a row.
Shut the fuck up.
Number one player in the world, like 1,000-point leader on the FedEx Cups. I'm going to win the FedEx Cup. I'm going to get 3 more wins, probably win the U.S. Open at Pebble. Crushing it. But I just can't make the cut at the Masters, bro.
But here you were talking shit, dude. They're like, oh, I can't even... Dude, what am I going to do? He playing the season's over. You can't even get past the fucking Masters.
Now I got to play an entire season just to give it one more crack at the Masters, bro.
That's sick, though. That's, my PlayStation blew up. I'm so bummed. But yeah, anyway, I did watch some, in gearing up for the Masters, I watched some Masters favorites.
So what's your favorite moments?
Masters.
Wait, hold on. You watched the 1970? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I won't give them a shout out, but I was listening to a podcast and they shot out that one, and I want to watch that one and a different one.
Watch 86, bro. Watch the final round of 1986. I watched a little bit of that today.
Can I tell you why I watched the 70s one?
Yes.
Because there was a quote where they said, and this is, if you listen to this show, you'll hear who I listen to, but they said, I couldn't believe that the PG, I don't want to say PGA. I couldn't believe the telecast of golf could get any worse than it is now. Anyway, this is back in 1970 when literally, when they went to film somebody that was too far, they would just go to a blank screen.
Yes.
And it would just say, "We'll be back soon," and then it would come back, and you could still hear the telecast, right? Or you could still hear the people talking.
70,
bro.
So,
to be honest with you, being into film and recording and all that stuff, I was more intrigued because of that quote to watch the 1971, and I was not disappointed.
Well, live was difficult back then. They had to chop stuff up, man.
Oh, stupid. So I'm sorry. What was your question again?
What? No.
What are my favorites?
Yeah, just
do I have a favorite?
Do you have a favorite Master moment?
I don't have a lot, so I'll give you mine really quick. Adam Scott.
Yeah.
In the Rain.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing. Wait. Who? Yeah, it was In the Rain. Wasn't Adam Scott?
No, that wasn't.
Yeah, that was.
Didn't we talk about this before? I think
no, we didn't.
You're not thinking of Sawgrass, right? The players.
No, I'm thinking of Augusta.
Okay. Was it raining?
Yeah, I think it was raining. At
2013, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Props to Adam Scott, man.
Well, at the end of the round, because I remember his pictures. It was dark and it was like raining in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
My bad.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Well, that was epic, dude. He's the only Aussie, man.
That's a good one. Bubba's is my ultimate favorite.
Really?
Ultimate favorite.
Because
I don't know why.
Freaking banana shot that he. That shot. That's the only thing I remember from Bubba's. That shot out of the.
The banana shot. I mean, dude.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. But that whole weekend for him, the story going into it and out of it, and the tears and
pancakes.
The pancakes, the whole Bubba. I mean, okay. First of all, Bubba is kind of one of the most hated in a sense.
Yeah.
Ish at that time. mainly. And anyway, catapulted out of that one.
Yeah. He looked good in white too.
Looked great. Oh
Yeah.
man. So that's one of my favorite wins. Like the whole weekend for him too was amazing. It's not a top. These are no top ones or threes. My next favorite one was Tiger Woods last year.
Yeah.
Out of all the Tiger wins, for me, out of all the Tiger wins, last year's Masters was the best. The best. 100%. I brought it up in another show. It was the best.
Yeah.
We're talking all the scrutiny, everything. Come back, get another jacket. You know what I mean? He was up for it this year too. But anyway, Tiger, with all that, my mom being there, her hating on Tiger the whole time. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
That's probably the best moment in golf ever. Like, just it sounds stupid to say, but
it was the comeback.
It's the comeback of the century, man. It's number one. And I put together a nice little list of all kinds of Masters moments, man.
Did you? Let me hear it,
bro. Well,
break them down. Oh wow, that's a big list. Yeah, break it down. Break it down.
It's a big list, but
give me
you know what?
No, but give me every single one, and then your just quick breakdown.
Yeah, I will. I wanted to do a top 10, but I realized it's too. I ended up doing a top 10. I'm just breaking out some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Adam Scott winning was the first one I want to mention in order, like number 10, just because.
Which we touched on, yeah.
Which we touched on, man.
That's a good one.
Greg Norman, by the way, he is going to end up popping up in this list so many times because of how many times he's just failed to win. He's had so many opportunities. He's come runner-up so many times. But I wanted to mention Ben Crenshaw in '95, man. The super emotional win. He had just lost his longtime swing coach, Harvey Pennick. Just died like a couple days. He just went to the funeral. So that was an inspirational, emotional win for Crenshaw. And that guy, dude, you know, golf, you know, Ben, gentle Ben, dude, just the most, like, nicest dude ever. Then I got number 8, Jose Maria Olazabal in '99. A year before, this dude was potentially never going to walk again. He had some sort of weird foot, like, ailment or something.
This is 99?
99.
I'm gonna have to watch that tonight,
dude. I don't know if it's playing on YouTube, but
I'm sure it's there. If I can find the 1970 Masters, I'm sure I can find the 1999 Masters.
It was just dope. Yeah, I mean, for Ole, dude, Olazabal, classic guy, dude. Great short iron player, just solid. You know, not the longest hitter, but tee to green, still solid. But yeah, he was told he was never gonna walk. Maybe, you know, definitely never golf. Thinking about living life in a wheelchair. Got some operation, got shit together. A year and a half later, wins a green jacket, dude. Just amazing. What was it? Oh, yeah. Larry Mize. Ooh, yeah. Remember the chip-in, dude?
Shout out to 98 Tiger Woods.
Yep, dude. This was, where was Larry Mize? I forget that. I didn't put the year down, but that was the classic one where he chipped in and ran around to beat Greg Norman in a playoff. Norman was just poised to win yet another green jacket and gets into a playoff. Larry Mize is from the Atlanta area. He's a Georgia boy. And so basically local boy at Augusta, and he chips in to beat Norman in a playoff. And then we got to go to my boy Faldo. Nick Faldo's got 3 green jackets. And I shit you not, he has allowed somebody to choke every single time he's gotten a green jacket. I wonder if he has some trouble sleeping knowing that somebody kind of coughed it up and gave it to him. Granted, he's, you know, not too much. I'm not trying to bag on Faldo too much. But so in 1989, Scott Hoke has a tap-in a playoff, first hole. Misses a tap-in, like a 1.5 footer. And Faldo wins a green jacket. Ray Floyd chokes and hits one into the water a few years later. Or the very next year, he's the only dude to, since since Ben Hogan to win consecutive Masters. Floyd on the last hole hits one into the water, makes bogey. Faldo wins a green jacket, and then you had the 1996, the epic Greg Norman meltdown when he's got a 6-stroke lead.
I saw a highlight
ends
on this
up
recently.
losing by 5, dude, to Nick Faldo. So, man, Greg Norman, he's just got to hate on Faldo, bro.
Well, okay, a couple shout outs here.
Yeah,
If you're playing the drinking game, a couple shout outs here.
please.
Shout out to Nick Faldo waving to us at Pebble Beach when he was on a jog with his wife.
He's got some ham hocks, dude. Great legs.
Great legs.
Yeah.
Huge calves.
Yep.
But honorable mention goes to Greg Norman for the fabulous golf course in Livermore, Wente Vineyards.
Oh, yeah. The vineyards.
There's a couple great shots of him probably playing there the first time that it was built and whatever. But great wine, great vineyards. We've brought that up before.
We love Greg Norman, man.
The Shark, man.
I wish he won those jackets instead of Hoke, Mize, and Faldo or whatever.
Well, I'll tell you what. The year that Mize won, we needed a Norman win.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
We did, man. Greg Norman.
Man, speaking of Faldo,
Yeah.
Henrik, I think it was Henrik Stenson, I believe.
He never won it.
No, but Masters last year, he had Faldo's caddy, Fanny Sunnison.
Ah. Old Fanny.
Sweden-born.
Big fat Fanny. She was such a lovely name.
From 90 to 99, she was Faldo's caddy, which I didn't particularly pay any attention to. I didn't know. When I saw her caddying last year or the year before, whenever he had her there, she had her sleeves rolled up on her legs. And I noticed that it was a female, and I was like, wow, like, is Augusta going to take that? Like, you know what I mean? No personal opinion here. I was with the elegance of the Masters, and I was very surprised.
Look at
guy
you.
or gal,
Dress code enforcer.
guy or gal, that somebody didn't walk out and tell her to roll her sleeves down on her pant leg.
Yeah.
I would imagine, since it was a female, that they'd let that go, and if it was a male, they'd be like, "You need to put your pant legs down."
What if they were to rock it like Spencer Fujimoto, Chad Muska, circa 98, where one pant leg was hitched up, but the other one was down?
So I'll tell you this: she had the perfect Gershon.
Oh, yeah.
She had the perfect
What, a
Gershon.
sweaty-ass shin?
Yes, the Augusta son, but she had the perfect Gershon fold all the way just above the shin bone,
Gershon did
above
it.
the calf.
Gershon.
But anyway.
That dude sweated more than Patrick Ewing
So
from the free throw line.
seriously, man. But yeah, so shout out to her because she was there for a couple huge wins for Faldo.
Bro.
And it's an underlying story that doesn't get a lot of attention.
Well, let me.
It did last year when Stenson had her as a caddy, though.
Did you see that caddy documentary?
The one that Bill Murray put out.
Yes.
Loopers.
Yes.
I've watched bits and pieces of it.
Okay, so you got to segue into this perfect because it is important to Augusta. Caddies are immensely important as far as being able to win a tournament. Mm-hmm. And the thing is with Augusta is up until I forget the year, but they would only use Augusta caddies. All the pros would use Augusta caddies. And when Nicklaus and when Palmer and when Gary Player, when all these guys were winning, it was because they were using Augusta caddies.
Correct.
And that happened actually for longer than anywhere, just like in Augusta form. They kept that tradition running for a little bit longer than they probably should have, like many other traditions that Augusta kept running longer than they should have. But yeah,
Correct.
The importance of a caddy is just insanely, incredibly huge. And like being able to know how to win. They did the same thing in the Open when different players like Tom Watson would go to play courses in the UK at the Open, and he would just suck balls. And then as soon as he got a caddy to like that is a local caddy, he won two damn things.
Right.
Like it's just huge, man.
Look at Jack. Willie Peterson.
Yeah.
For Augusta. That was his caddy for Augusta for years.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it in 1986 too?
Oh,
Did they
yes.
keep that shit? Was it?
There was a point where his, I think, sons.
I should know this. I was watching it, but I was not really paying attention.
I didn't catch. It's funny we're talking about the same thing.
But we'll get to 80.
The same thing.
Yeah. The funny thing is let's just perfect segue because that's my number 5 is Jack in 1986. But real quick before I get into Jack, they also talk about Bandon Dunes on this Loopers doc, and the importance of a caddy running out there, and it's a great shout out. Shout out to Tobes. I hope you're listening to the show, Tobes.
Hope he is too, man. 3 times. I hit him up about it, and I didn't hear any response. Willie Peterson on the bag for Nicholas, 63, 65, 66, 72, 75, and they worked together until 83. I think the 86 one was when his son actually was on the bag.
You're right.
Jackie.
You know what?
And remember, he was Jackie like, that's in. Remember, that's that famous story.
Right, dude.
Because like, no, that one's in.
The moment I kept thinking about was from 70 or 75 or whenever he won the last one when Willie jumps out in the air.
Yes.
That's the one when he makes that bomb that I think is an eagle or birdie putt on 17 or whatever it was. But
yeah, clutch, I think the one that he won in 86 with his son.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? I got to tell you this. That's the second most epic comeback in the game of golf. Potentially in the game of sport, because I honestly I'm going to bring it up again because it's my number 1. Spoiler alert, but Tiger's most recent win is not only the most epic Masters win ever, I think it's the most epic golf win ever, and I honestly can make an argument that it's one of the most epic sports wins ever because you're talking about the best of the best of the best of his particular sport completing it full circle. So before I even get there, going back to Jack, dude. That was the second most insane comeback that dude won 10 years prior, 10 years removed from being at the peak of your profession and then coming back and winning the ultimate championship is the most storybook fairy tale shit ever. You can't do that in any other sport like you do in golf.
That's true.
We talk about it a lot. Like nobody else could do that in football. Some people could do it in basketball and baseball. They come back 10 years later and win. Because, baseball players play for 20 years. Like, that's fine. So, but there's not many examples like Jack winning. And, 5 different players had the lead at some point. It was just such a, back and forth tournament. And it was Jack birdies 9, 10, and 11. And you're just like, oh, shit, it's on. And then I think he bogeys 12. And you're like, okay, never mind. And the lead kept changing and going back and forth. And then he just went on his tear. He eagled 15. Makes par at 17, and then you got Seve, Norman choking it up. Of course, Norman was choking it up. I mean, that was just...
Sadler was probably choking it up that day, too.
Yeah. He was
Sadler's got... Speaking of sad, Sadler has
he's
so
another runner-up.
So many fucking Masters. Just
his name doesn't even come into my head when thinking about it, man.
He always comes into Sunday.
But
anyway, sorry to steal that.
Man, you're right. But that yellow Jack shirt, the image, dude. Yes, sir. That fucking image. Chopped in the video.
Yes, sir.
Man,
shout out
so
to Jackie.
Good.
Shout out to Jackie right there. Look at that putting stance right there, bro.
Let's do it.
How's that now, Jack?
Dude. Shout out to Jack. Jack's on the cup. Jack's in the glass. This is not Jack, though. This is James.
Mm-hmm.
What's next, bro? My boy, Jordan Spieth, 2015, shoots a 64 opening round. When you fire off 8 under to lead the tournament, it's kind of like this is yours to fuck up. Especially Jordan Spieth's 2015 was on another level, dude.
It was.
I mean,
it's I can't believe I even forgot about it. But it's one of the most epic.
It's only 5
victories.
Years ago, but that just he starts off with that freaking 64. Mickelson, Rose, they were 4 back but at the end of it. So Mickelson, another runner-up for him. But yeah, he won. He wire to wire. Spieth had the lead all 4 days. Never didn't have the lead, and just it wasn't the most exciting tournament because he just opened the door. Shut
that was the year that if he was gonna beat if he shot 21 under for the weekend, he would have beat Tiger's record.
Yeah.
That was that year.
I was rooting for him to do it, and he almost did. He
almost did, but he ended up shooting 19.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like that. Yeah, it was like
choking it up down the edge. 18.
Yeah, but he was there, though. He was like at 22 at some point for the weekend.
18, 19? Yeah,
he was going to beat it, and it was the lowest. And I think he still beat the youngest, lowest score leading into whatever day or whatever.
He did.
The fuck, yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean he went on to win the U.S. Open, and then he was runner-up at the PGA.
Was that the U.S. Open that he kind of snuck by? That was.
He snuck by. You mean no? That was
Chambers,
not Chambers, but Whistling Straits.
Okay, so no, that's the one he won. Chambers, he sort of won because DJ.
Because DJ, yeah, okay.
So I think there was that one, and then the next one he lost.
Yeah, but that I mean, just what a year, dude. We
could be wrong too, folks.
He was
don't
but I mean, 2 wins and then 2 runner-ups in the Open and in the PGA. That's like he was a stroke or 2 away from winning the Slammy, dude. And you know, then he kind of disappeared, bro.
The pressure got him.
Yeah,
the pressure got him. Well, I'm definitely gonna miss the Masters. Oh,
go ahead. I got one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, there's 2 more.
It's 2 more. Sorry,
it's 2 more to finish it up. Number 2 is Tiger's win in '97, man. Because again,
that's
the
elite. Though.
This is the number 1 best player ever, dude.
Yeah.
And then
that's the one though too. That's the epic one.
Because he turned pro in the year before, and then it's his first Masters like coming back as a pro, and he beats everybody by freaking 12.
Yeah,
12, man, 12 stroke. That's Tom Kite runner up, by the way. And then number 1 was Tiger.
Really, soaring over Kite?
Yeah, soaring over Kite. And number 1 is Tiger, bro, and just most recently. Yeah. Oh, I think I skipped one. I skipped the one in 2005 when he got that chip in. Because my top 5 are the ones that I experienced. That's why I had to go back and
look.
The
chip in is epic.
Yeah.
That's a childhood, at this point, a childhood memory.
And poor Chris DeMarco, dude.
And not... That's the other guy I was thinking about earlier, is the Chris DeMarco one. But yes.
That chip.
The chip in, and it's not... It gets confused a lot with the better than most.
Yeah, that was your life, have you ever seen anything? That was...
This is the one that is on the Nike commercial, where it just holds the Nike logo for like 30 fucking seconds, and then it finally rolls in.
Could you imagine being a Nike advertising exec?
Watching just that
tournament when you see that.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes. You're slapping your wife.
God,
the whole 9, dude.
Those guys, the ad crew just got shit faced that day. Just the best thing ever.
No, the lead guy was yelling and screaming at his wife and kids like, "We just did it."
They were in the studio chopping that commercial up in real time.
He was like, "I'm going in, and guess what? I don't have to go to work for days after this."
Guess what, babe? We're buying that boat. Let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't care about your affair. We're buying the boat. Everything's gonna be good.
All right, so you skipped. What's the next one?
That was it, man. I skipped the chip in. That was. I did skip one more. I skipped a bunch, man. I got excited.
It's okay.
Phil Mickelson, man, 2004.
The jump, which is now his logo.
The jump.
Yeah.
Els was looking like he was going to close that, but Phil Mickelson in his 3-inch vertical leap, that was huge for me. Like I watched every second of that tournament.
I did too. I was with you, I think.
No, I watched it with Asia Wooden, dude. Shout out to B.
Oh, that's the one
Mickey
you guys
Miller's
watched.
house.
That's right.
That was one where she actually watched the full.
I think I watched it with Phil.
But it was good. It was good for Mickelson to do that, man.
No, and that's his logo now. Is that little 3-inch vertical jump shit you see on his shirt?
Who's got a better logo, Bill Murray or Phil Mickelson?
Oh man, they're one and the same. To be honest,
they're pretty similar.
But I mean, they're both equally as epic. Because I'll tell you why. Professionally, Phil can wear that on the PGA. Bill can sell to every idiot in the world, which is us. I'm not speaking down on anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it. Bill, everyone's going to buy that. It's the tossing of the club.
Yeah.
Phil has the poster actually at his house. Our Phil, not Phil Mickelson.
He does.
But
God, such a bummer, man. But November will be cool. Maybe it'll be just epic to have a fall Masters.
Well, the hot tub comes into play in fall Masters for sure.
Yes, definitely.
For sure.
Hot tub will come into play anytime. If we're allowed to go in a hot tub. That doesn't seem like a good thing right now.
I feel like if the Masters is going on in November, I think we're all going to be okay. But again, I didn't put the whole thing into play as far as the whole we postponed or we canceled.
Yeah. It's unclear. I don't think tournaments that postpone aren't going to be canceled for sure.
Right.
And maybe even the canceled tournaments might have a chance of coming back. You never know.
Because could you kind of say, like, could the Open be like, whoa, we didn't know this was going to be open. Like, we're going to be cool.
Yeah.
Can we still do it?
Yeah.
But that's in 2 months.
I mean, until the
Or 3 months.
the old curve starts getting a little flatter, it's really hard to
It's hard to gauge.
it's hard to gauge, man.
I did see a guy. I was playing some hockey at the park today, the cousin and niece. But when I was leaving, there was a guy chipping balls in the middle of the park.
Beautiful.
I should have stopped, said, "Hey, check out the podcast," but I just gave him a little fist pump.
Yeah.
As I rolled out of the parking lot.
I think I'm at that point where maybe I could do it, but my park's not open. They're closed.
Shit got
the
shut down,
signs.
huh?
They
Your
got the
lady blew it
signs.
for everybody, huh?
I guess so, man. It's not her. It's them. It's us. It's everyone.
It's everybody.
Just so many people. God, I can't believe I gotta play like another season just to get in the Masters again. But you know what? Hopefully I could if I could log enough time. I'm back on Skate 3 though. Kind of got sick of the Tiger game. It's hard to occupy yourself right now, bro.
I know. I got a fucking talk box hooked up. I got all kinds of weird
You're making
stuff going
slamming
on.
ass beats,
I got.
dude. You good?
I think I have a dance album coming out.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of. I think in these times, like ideally, I'd be like, hey, I could get different singers to be on it. But I think I'm at a point where like I need to just sing this album.
Just belt it out, bro.
I don't know. It's coming out too quick.
It's coming out too quick. Speaking of belting out, man, was it about that time?
It's way past that time. But on a one note,
one
on
note.
a 51 note, let's get out of here. Cheers, my friend.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
You've been here too long.
Yeah.
You're making my lady nervous.
I gotta get home. I gotta charge my stupid toaster oven car. But my knee's feeling better. I'm excited. I'm ready to go get back on the board again. Let's do
Are
it.
you ready for some roller hockey?
Yeah.
Because that's some good social distancing right there.
Yes, totally.
Me and my cousin passed it from half court today
Oh, nice.
and played hockey. And I moved around a lot. Yeah. And we was on one.
Did anyone call the police on you?
I thought that one guy was.
Bro, I got fucking receipt checked at Whole Foods, by the way. Dude came up to me
Did
after.
you?
Yeah, I bought some stuff, and then she's like, "You want a receipt?" I'm like, "Nah, throw it away." And then I went to wash my hands, so I could leave
Yeah.
the store with clean hands. Like,
Oh, God.
and right as I'm walking out, dude's like, "Hey, man, you got a receipt?" I just got.
So what happened?
I just had to be like, "No, that one in the shirt right there. Sold it to me." I
She
said,
vouched
"Throw
for
away
you?
the receipt." I didn't have time. I was like, "I don't appreciate this," and it was like a hate crime. I just
I
walked
am
out.
white.
Man,
I do not appreciate this.
Oh man, let's get out of here.
Jeez. Yeah, let's get out of here before I dig a fucking hole.
Yeah. Want to talk about Trump?
Folks. Shout out to Cole Hammer. I'll explain that later. But
Lee Hammer says no.
I'll just spill it real quick because it's golf. Cole Hammer is an up-and-coming golfer, and I just happened to come across his stuff on Instagram today. And he had a picture somewhere scrolled down in the middle of him and Trump playing golf together.
Boo.
And it was funny because I was like,
Unfriend.
wow, I want to see what the people said because there was like 100 and something comments.
Yeah.
The only one that popped up was, "You're gonna regret this." and look, I don't care. Like, I do not care. I come from a time where you didn't even ask people their opinion on who they voted for. You feel me? Like,
Are we really going to go here right now?
no, we're not, because I'm going to close this out. I know people that have voted for everybody. I know Mexicans that have voted for Trump. It doesn't matter. You feel me? It doesn't matter. But yes, that guy might regret that vote later on in life when he becomes pro, and if some shit maybe goes awry. But I personally feel it goes hand in hand. I don't care. I'm not bringing up anything. It goes hand in hand. You're gonna golf with Trump if you're an up and coming golfer from Texas, and that's what nobody.
I'd say no.
You're from Texas though. Again. Well,
then of course I'd say yes.
Yes, exactly. That's what nobody in this
Wait a
thread
second.
realized. Wait a minute.
Jesus.
And so yeah, we're not. God, again, we're not opening a can of worms. But I just thought that was funny because
I hope the music's playing by this time.
it is.
Okay.
So nonetheless, fucking hilarious. Another great show, my friend.
Good deed. Good deeds.
We got more coming for y'all. That's all I gotta say. Magic Car Path Ride. Shout out
Terrible.
to Anchor.
Yeah.
Anchor.fm for all their wonderful work.
That's what we did.
Check us out on YouTube now. Magic Car Path Bride. Twitter, Facebook, all that other shit at Magic Car Path Bride. Folks, all I can tell you in this time of pandemic is head down.
Good vibes.
And we out. Thanks again, everybody.